I told you soon enough, everything started to change. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying high.
We're at Mountain Tom in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and this is where we had our first date. So it was only right. Our 1 year anniversary was yesterday. We just finished eating some cake, year-old cake, and it was really good. So yeah, we're squinting a little bit is because the natural lighting is blinding us, but all for YouTube, right? So whatever. All right, guys. Welcome back to our channel, and today we're gonna talk about, and I don't think we've actually done these like lately, but either way, today we are going to talk about our 6-month update of living full-time in our RV. Yes. We've written down quite a few things that we have thought about over the past few days. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna start with our list of things that we believe are cons or downsides to RV life.
All right, number one is it's hard to find an RV park if you don't book ahead of time.
I think I called over 40 places. I guess snowbirds, they call them snowbirds, like RVers that come from the northern part of the country or Canada or anywhere pretty much cold in the winter. They come down to like the southern or southwest portion of the country. Yeah. I'm sure obviously like Florida and all that, not just southwest. And so they're all full. Number 2.
Not all travel trailers or RVs are all season. Ours in particular is not all season, and we couldn't use the bathroom or use the water when we were in the northern part of the country as we were traveling down to Arizona.
Yeah, that was, we pretty much lived in my aunt's driveway for a month before we took off, which we're glad because we kind of got to play camp but didn't fully like dive into like RV life. Yeah. But yeah, we knew that, I guess once we bought it, like we knew, or like right before we bought it, we knew that we wouldn't be able to like run water and stuff when it's really cold because the pipes could freeze and burst. And yeah, so that was a thing that was very inconvenient. All the way to Arizona, we either stayed at a hotel or we stayed inside there and like brushed our teeth and like inside of Walmart's or like rest stops. We took a shower at a truck station once, and we never did that again because it was gross. And we thought that if we just paid a little bit more money, we would just stay in a hotel to take a shower. So the times that we did stay in the hotels, it was to take a shower. Yeah. So I think that was a little inconvenient. Number 3 is that it was very tough for us to transition into tiny living. So tiny living meaning obviously like 200 square feet. I don't even think we live in 200 square. I feel like it's like less than 200
It
square
might be
feet.
less. Yeah.
And if you think about all the things that are in the way, like the actual walking space that you have in the RV is not 200 square feet. It's probably, I don't know, like a third of that. Yeah. We had what we thought was not very many things, but when you start to move, and anybody that knows about moving, when you start to move, you realize you have a lot more things than you thought you had. So finding places for things was very difficult and annoying to say the least. I think that we thought it was a great idea to have our clothes under our bed for all of 1 week, and then we were extremely annoyed. And I think we said this in our past videos, but I'm 5'7", he's 6'2", and we're not short people. Very, very annoying to have to crouch down below your bed to get clothes. So that was very annoying to us.
Number 4 is dumping our gray and black water tanks. More than we expected.
The black tank, it could last a week or a little more, but the gray tank like was filled within like 2 or 3 days. Yeah. So that was That's a downside. Number 5, the amount of vibration that you feel inside the RV. So I never thought you were like a hard walker until we lived in the RV, and I feel like every single step that you take, I feel like he's like wiggling and doing like I don't know what. I mean, we have wheel shocks, we have stabilizers, but it still doesn't feel like, it's not as stable as a home. So you feel way more vibrations than you would have expected, or we would have expected.
All right, number 6, securing things is so important. We noticed and we learned actually the hard way when some peanut oil spilled.
Oh, casually, peanut oil.
Peanut oil spilled all over our floor one time. We left it on top of the counter. That was the only thing we left on top of the counter. And when we stopped at a Walmart parking lot, as soon as we opened up that door, I thought it was water. You thought it was something else.
No, yes.
And it was peanut oil, like covered, like all over the floor.
Yeah, it was all over the bathroom.
Yeah.
All over like the kitchen, living room area, because it's all one. And I immediately knew it was oil after I stepped on it, and I was like, this is definitely not water.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a great day. We wasted like 3 hours cleaning it up. Yeah, securing things, we took it very seriously, and we take it very seriously, but for some reason like that just slipped our minds. I don't know like why we didn't see it. Number 7. So this sounds funny, but we forget the day of the week sometimes, especially if we are not working. I also realize, and you also realize too, that we forget sometimes what state we're in. Number
8, being new to a town and finding different stores or restaurants can be a challenge. We're staying at a certain campground in Tucson, Arizona, and we were traveling to one Walmart that was 15 to 20 minutes away.
No, not 15. It was definitely 20 to 25
it was actually
minutes
20
away.
25 minutes away. Not knowing that there was one within like 5 minutes of the campground. And that was like, we learned that after like a month and a half. Like for some reason, Google search like didn't show anything.
Yeah, Google Maps failed us. Number 9. Sometimes we get tired of traveling.
That's true.
There was I think in one of the videos, some people had commented and laughed at the fact that I said that I needed a vacation from my vacation. And yeah, I think sometimes like sometimes we want to just stay somewhere and just like be there for a little while, but it's kind of like the whole saying is like everything's good in moderation. So sometimes like if we're just doing way too much, it does get a little tiring, and we know when to slow down and just take a rest.
All right, number 10, nothing ever goes as planned.
Nothing ever goes as planned.
I'm telling you, like everything that we have planned on the road has never gone as planned. Maybe a few things, but for the most part, never goes as planned. So adjusting to that and having always a plan B, C, or even D, it's always something to keep in mind.
What I've learned is that honestly, even when your plans don't go well, like you end up having the best plans come out of that.
Yeah.
And why is the sun coming back up?
Oh, God.
Number 11, that we are never settled. Like someone's like, oh, did you get settled into RV life? No, I did not. And there's no such thing as settling when your house has wheels. There's no such thing. It kind of ties in with getting tired of traveling. Even though we're never settled, like we get very like antsy when we're settled for too long. Like when we were in Arizona for 3 months, we were just like, all right, I think like 2 months in, we were like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like where are we going next? Because I'm just tired of this place already. I want to leave. It's a pro and con.
All right, number 12, parking the trailer, or especially backing in. That is probably the worst thing for me.
Yeah. They usually say, wait, what was that like meme? The meme said, I'm sorry for what I said to you when we were trying to park the trailer. That is so accurate. And I'm gonna read a quote that one of the RVers that we follow mentioned, driving and vibing. So she said, because there is a whole different set of struggles and stressors, kind of like learning the ropes of this new lifestyle, you can tend to take it out most on the person closest to you, and that you love the most. So it's important to remember that they are not working against you. They are not your enemy. It may feel like it when you're trying to back up the trailer. So I think, like, actually before we got engaged, or right after we got engaged, right around that time, we had a friend ask us if we ever argue. And he's like, do you guys like ever fight? And I was like, I mean, yeah, if usually it has to do with like driving and parking, and an entire year later of marriage, and that's pretty much what our problems are.
Yeah. Parking.
Parking. Like, it's with or without the trailer, but the trailer just makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So
because sometimes I do all the driving, and sometimes she's like, babe, just go right there, you can definitely fit there. I'm like, no, we're definitely not doing that. Sometimes she wants to squeeze into like the tightest spot, so I'm like,
that is not true.
Yes, it is.
Number 13 is the fact that we have lost a substantial amount of money.
Yes, we have.
All right, so by us saying that we have lost a lot of money, we are basically saying, or we're talking and referring to like the cars we have bought and sold, and that just includes like the cars we had before we went RVing, and the truck that we bought that we will probably be trading in now, the RV that we will probably take a loss on because of depreciation, because obviously, as you guys saw in the last video, we bought a bus to convert into a tiny home.
All right, number 14. So the oven use is limited in RVs.
We thought that it was gonna be more like, thought it was gonna be like our home oven, that we were gonna pretty much be able to do anything that we did in the house. But the heat distribution is not good. It's like very tiny.
Yeah.
And so we pretty much can cook meat in there, but you have to be very cautious of like how close the flames are in order to not burn, which we did a lot in our first couple months living in the RV.
Number 15. The bathroom smells really bad when we're traveling, when we're towing the RV.
So when in motion, the black tank doesn't necessarily have to even be full for it to smell, but like for some reason the traveling like back and forth, I guess it like throws up the fumes.
Yeah.
So it smells really bad. Number 16, furniture inside of our RV is not the best. So I think the only thing that we liked from the RV was the couch, but it's not the best because it's a love seat size. We did swap out the mattress. It was as hard as a concrete block.
Yeah.
We ripped out the booth, the dinette booth. We found that the cushions like pretty much flattened out after sitting on them for like half an hour. Yeah, we would say that RV furniture.
Yeah. Number 17. What we didn't know, and we might have watched videos on this like so many times, but we just, I don't know, just maybe like we're just daydreaming or something while watching this video.
Clearly. But
this might sound crazy, but or dumb, but we didn't know that you needed a generator or sufficient power, and I'm an electrician, to run to run your heat in your RV.
We pretty much froze inside of our RV for the first few weeks of traveling. In order to dry camp, we need a generator or we need solar power. Number 18. For you, Mother Nature. We did not know that the winds and the weather, I mean, we knew obviously if it's windy, but you don't really think about it until you're in areas like Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah.
And it's not even just confined to those states. But we have had days where we had to literally stop because the winds were so high and we were swaying despite the sway system we have.
Yeah, one day we were stuck in Eastland, Texas for 2 straight days just because the winds were so high. Number 19. We didn't realize how hot it was gonna get inside of the RV. It's pretty much aluminum outside, and the heat is just outstanding in there. Yeah.
We did a Skype interview with Creativity RV a couple days ago, and it was great, except for the fact that we were sweating the entire time.
Oh yeah, I know.
It was so hot in there, and even with the AC on, it was like really hot. We had to turn it off because it's like a little bit on the louder side, so we weren't gonna be able to hear her speaking. I'm just thinking about that, like when you said the sauna, we were like literally roasting, and so was she.
Yeah. Number 20. The journey is definitely gonna be longer. Don't expect to make it from one state to the other in in the same time as a Class A or maybe a different RV, Class C or something. Once you punch an address in a GPS, don't you ever expect to get there at that same time.
Yeah.
Just because they're going based off of like a regular car, regular truck or whatever. So yeah, just expect it to be a lot longer.
It's all about the journey though.
Yeah, it's all about the journey.
That's the saying. I'm on the road with these things. Number 21, and this is obviously not the case for everyone, but we really miss Puerto Rican food. We are from the East Coast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Puerto Ricans here in Massachusetts and in Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, but obviously Arizona is not well populated with Puerto Ricans, and neither was Tennessee actually.
No.
So we missed like Puerto Rican food, and we missed as well as I don't always cook Puerto Rican food, but the times that I did want to cook Puerto Rican food, I was unable to because we didn't have the ingredients to cook it, no matter where we looked. And that ingredient is sofrito, just FYI if you guys wanted to know what I was talking about.
Number 22.
I think our conception was that every state was like the cost of living was lower, except for California, but lower than like the East Coast. And the cost of living in Arizona, or the food in Arizona, was pretty high. So number 23, I feel as though like I had the expectation that things were gonna be, like the RV was gonna be easier to clean, but I feel like it was more time consuming to me. Living in such a small space, like everything pretty much has to be like tidy, and you feel like very OCD-ish. You just feel like everything needs to be in this place, and so you're constantly like organizing things and constantly putting things away.
Last but not least, number 24. How long it takes to set up and break down camp. We've gotten a lot faster, a lot better, and now we have a system, but it still takes a very long time.
Setting up or breaking down camp can take us like 2 hours.
Yeah. Like, I think we've done a lot better. I think when we first got to Arizona, we took like hours just to set up camp.
Oh
like,
my
we'd
God.
even like, it was like I never connected like a water, like a hose. It was easy, but I kind of like left it in the box the first day. I was like, you know what, there's too many people out there, I don't want to do it right now.
I don't think we used a toilet for like
I know.
We literally, when we got to Arizona, it took us like an entire like week and a half to use the toilet in there, in the shower. I think you've gotten really good at like doing the outside. As far as the inside still takes me a long time. I don't know why. But hopefully it'll get better with the schoolie and the conversion, because we're pretty much trying to construct it in a way that we have minimal minimal things that we have to put away for the journey. But right now I absolutely hate breaking down camp. Hate it. Like, I'd rather set up camp than break it down.
That's probably the worst.
It literally is the worst. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We are gonna do a video next on pros and just positives and overall things that we love about the RV life. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and we'll be sure to include them in the next video. Until next time.
Everything's so much better.